Hello, Tim Anders here with version 9.4 of our electronic forms for Worldwide Jet. We've had a few additions to our forms. What we're going to do first is quickly review how the normal features work. Let's create a trip on 39 Charlie Delta with the button across the top of the page. Select that. We also go to our trip number, Worldwide Jet 101. And you see that the rest of the form colors come up, and you can see the rest of the form. The requester is selected just as it was before, as well as the flight crew. Flight attendants are at the bottom. The trip is entered, data the same way. Let's say 8 o'clock. We're going to leave to go to Van Nuys, and that'll be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1300. And let's say 5-hour flight. Let's say it's 1:35. We're going to hit and put one passenger on there. Our duty time on would be 7 o'clock. Duty off would be 1400. Now this is where some of the features change on this form. Along the right hand side we see that there's a calculator here that informs us what we're actually scheduling. So today we've scheduled a trip that has 14 hours or more rest. We have scheduled a duty time of 7 hours and 5 hours of flight. Alright, now let's take a look at what these things do for us when we overbook a trip. Let's put a trip in here with over 10 hours of flight. So we're going to put 13 hours of flight on there by accident. Notice that on the left hand side, this little section here that we've created that can be visible on the BlackBerry for the person who is releasing the trip with operational control, now has an area that tells you the flight is scheduled for 13 hours, and it tells you, oh look, it's over 10 hours of flight time. Very easy to see. Let's also go over here and change the duty time. Say you're going to duty off at 2100. Okay, this would be a full 14-hour duty day. We have our 14 hours. Take a look what it does over here. 14 hours. It says exactly 14, and it also highlights and says, hey, you're sending a trip out that's over 12 hours of duty, and that's going to come into play with our safety management system. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's take it over the 14 hours. Notice now that it comes up and throws you a red light. It says, hey, you're over 14 hours and you're over the 10 hours. Our rest function, how this works is we're looking for 10 hours. However, if we accidentally, let's go 22. If we schedule them under 10 hours of rest, it tells us right here. It also tells us over here, hey, it's under 10 hours. If we schedule them for exactly 10 hours, tells you that too. It says, hey, you're exactly 10 hours, you're good. But wait, there's more. What we do is we go over here on the left hand side. This is a new feature. This is directly working with the safety management system to help calculate a risk number for each leg of the trip. If the trip has a less than 4 hours notice for the crew, you put it in as a pop-up. If there is a repositional leg on the flight, put an X. If it is an international trip, we put an X. Okay, what does that do for us? Let's take a look down on the bottom. We go to the safety management page. The top section of the safety management system here is analyzing the trip before it even gets sent to the crew. Is the duty day greater than 12 hours? In our example, we said yes. The form automatically calculated that it gets a score of 4 for risk value. If the flight time is greater than 8 hours in the duty day, it also increases your risk. If the crew rest is less than 10 hours, it reduces the risk, or increases the risk, I should say. If there's a repositional flight, if there's a pop-up, and if it's an international operation. So you can see how this will automatically calculate for us. Now, in the future, the crews will be entering information in these boxes depending upon the situations that they have in their score. What does this do for us? At the end here, it calculates everything up. If the score becomes over 20, it must be mitigated, and we have to call somebody, and they'll their name will be entered and a code will be put in to release the trip from there. So let's go back to the first page. The rest of the features remain the same as the previous version 9. You can copy your passengers from one leg to the next. Your releasing information is the same. Do you want to release the leg for the do you want to sign the leg, I should say, for the no-fly list? Say yes for the legs you do and no for the legs you don't. Still enter your time and date as you would, and you get the OK light. When you get this trip back from the crew, you see that it is not posted yet. When you open it, you hit the post button. Posting it will take the information, put the hours in, log them in here, add them to the current times. There is also an additional feature where it takes the safety management system from the pilots, whatever they entered, and logs it in at the very end. But you don't have to really worry about that at all. You just shrink this back down, go back to your blank. You'll have to select page 1 again on the bottom, and you're complete. Thank you for taking a look at my review of version 9.4. If you have any questions or comments, contact me, Tim Anders, at any time. Remember, this program is created for us, by us, so any suggestions you have to make it better, let me know. Thank you very much.